Introducing to you first, fighting to my left out of the blue corner. He comes in adorned in the white, weighing officially at 265 pounds. His record, 1 win, opposite a single defeat. Hailing from Essex, United Kingdom. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a Kelz. And across the ring, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He comes in wearing the black, red, and gold. Official weight 265 pounds. Tonight, he is making his Misfits boxing debut, fighting out of Cooper City, Florida. He is the former UFC heavyweight champion of the world. Presenting Andrei Pitbull Arlovski.
And blue. 4 3-minute rounds, but I don't think we'll need them. Round number 1 underway.
He's a tough guy to get words out of on fight week, but fight night, you can see he comes alive.
Putting pressure on Kelz early. Kelz trying to storm across with the right hand. Pitbull, some shots up the center, Nikki.
You're already seeing Kelz's composure is so calm compared to his last fights, and his footwork is looking like there's definitely improvement.
The positioning is clear immediately. Andrei Arlovski can position Kelz wherever he wants him when he's in that clinch. Kelz has to use his range, and he's not doing it so far. Catches the clean right hand.
Arlovski, huge power like BJ Flores mentioned. It's the last thing to go. He's still got it, Riley.
He's looking composed in there. He's enacting his will so far, and Kelz is just a bit too frantic. He's still too fast on his feet. He's not using the range. Right here, pop the jab.
Big right hand from Kelz. Arlovski retreating, but you can feel the tense energy from Kelz. This is a huge moment for him, but Riley, it might be too big of a step up.
But right there, he stunned with the jab. That nice, clean, straight punch landed, and Kelz has to find that that's the route to victory. There's no other route to victory. So for him to not be enacting that, he has to dig down and get that right away. Nice big
right
shot.
Hand. Arlovski blinking on the retreat there. Minute 40 left in round number 1.
Earlier in this fight, though, you know, both guys full of energy. Kelz can kind of get away a little bit, but as it goes on, it's the ability to still fight properly when fatigued. That's the experience that Arlovski's going to bring.
26 years of combat sports. He is MMA royalty, and now smothering Kelz in his boxing debut.
Kelz kind of desperate for the clinch there in tight, not really showing any skill in close. Good at range. This is where he's having success, landing with decent shots.
Arlovski trying to talk to Damian Walton, but again, protect yourself at all times, Nicky.
Arlovski not using a traditional boxing guard at all, really. And we've seen this from other MMA fighters, is they're so conditioned to parry with their hands, whereas they've got to get comfortable just putting it up and blocking the shots with the big gloves. We're not seeing that from Andrei.
Nice move from Andrei Arlovski to avoid the right hand. Too eager, overzealous throwing these strikes, Riley. He's almost coming too quickly into the pocket.
And we talked about it earlier. This ring is not huge tonight. This is a small ring, and for these guys, they're closing that distance incredibly fast. They're hitting the ropes very, very quickly.
You're absolutely right. If Kelz relied more on keeping him back with that jab and just using his range where he has it.
The hands down are just unnecessary.
Some gamesmanship from Kelz. You don't want that. Ask Sean Stewart. Final 10 seconds of round number 1. The Pitbull rushing in with a stutter step. Who could have predicted Arlovski? Ooh, that was a big right from Kelz, Riley.
Kelz stunned him a little bit.
Kelz needs to be careful.
Between these heavyweights is underway. And I know that we maybe dislike the hands at the hips, but the fact that Kelz is feeling himself and is having that confidence, Riley, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
And that looseness, right? At the end of the day, it seems like he's defensively relying on kind of leaning back a little bit, and his height allows that to be possible. We're seeing some straighter punches now, BJ. He's having a bit of trouble in close, a bit desperate for the clinch, but he is having some success with shots at range.
Oh, he looks loose with that left jab, and he landed a nice straight right hand when Arlovski's kind of falling in at the end of round 1. And you see him setting that shot up, Riley, looking to land a straight jab right hand. Stop. Don't punch. He's definitely improved since the last time he was out of the system.
Arlovski clinching, pushing Kelz into the ropes, trying to negate space, trying to negate the damage and offense coming back his way. But it is very apparent that Kelz might just need one, Riley.
Absolutely, but Arlovski, it's the same story. He hasn't been able to find it yet, but right there, that nice slip right hand, if that gets a little bit more accurate, it's going to hurt. I mean, BJ, you were talking about it earlier, the power does not leave.
Kelz kind of load up on that right hand right there. I'd like to see him continue to use his jab. Just touch Arlovski, touch him, move around the ring, break him down a little bit.
Oh, Arlovski went for a takedown.
Bit of muscle memory there, folks.
The UFC champ, listen, he felt the hips. He said, I'm gonna lock this one up.
You're about to go for a ride, but he decided to let him slide on that one.
Kelz is going to
Big counter left hook from Arlovski.
Nice counter shot a second ago right there by Arlovski. It's going to be interesting to see how Kelz responds these later rounds, guys. He's not as experienced as Arlovski, and see if he shows continued offense or if he is able to step on the gas.
BJ, right before you stepped in here, I mentioned that as the fatigue sets in, the experience becomes more apparent. So as we go later in this, we might see Andrei be able to enact this a little bit better.
If I'm Andrei, I'm not going to panic here. I'm going to keep going to the body of Kelz, let Kelz overshoot over my head, keep touching his body, and then rounds 3 and rounds 4, I'm going to step on the gas a little bit.
And you can see Kelz's behavior is different from that first frame, right? He's a little bit more weathered, and Arlovski pushing into him like this, right? Clinching frequently is soaking the London man's stamina.
Arlovski has a PhD in this, in grinding you out, in grappling, in being here for 3 5-minute rounds, 5 5-minute rounds. This is not an incredibly long time. Big counter shot for Arlovski.
Now Kelz trying to win push up like the former champion. BJ, those aren't going to land on the pit bull.
Well, the thing about it, Ben, is whenever you take a shot like that in heavyweight boxing, you don't want to rush in and jump at your opponent. Set it back up with the jab. Look at his body go to the head. Nice beautiful off the jab.
Monster
right hand.
throw from Kelz. 20 seconds remain.
Arlovski kind of rolling with it well. Clean shot, he wore it well.
I see a good 1-2 from Kelz, and then I see a straight right hand where he gets off balance. I want to see him use the left jab.
You know, when we talk about Arlovski getting stopped in the UFC, we have to remember these guys are using 4-ounce gloves. These guys are world champion caliber fighters, so we don't have the answer to the question of how he reacts to getting hit with big glove in boxing.
Another big collision between these big heavyweights to close out the second frame. Kelz is improving in front of our eyes, but Arlovski, the same monster he's always been. Third round here in this heavyweight showdown. The Pitbull on the pressure.
There's no question there's been a lot of improvement from Kelz, but he's been thrown in deep water immediately. He fought Chase Demore, who's our champ and has a plethora of experience. Now he's fighting Andrei Arlovski. This is a huge challenge, and frankly, he's in there. He's having moments, he's landing shots. Nice clean jab right there.
Nice left hand. I would like to see both guys use the taunt to feint here in round 3. It's like they both back up, and then one shoots and the other one shoots. There's no taunting and feinting, so I'd like to see a little chest.
Oh! Nearly buckled the ropes. That's a lot of weight that just came out of the ring.
530 pounds on that.
530 pounds, I did the math on it. Oh, stop.
And again, Kelz getting pushed up. Tough clinching effort. He's clearly frustrated with Arlovski's game plan, Riley.
Arlovski's not even using his arms in the clinch. He's just positioning his body, and a nice 1-2 lands there.
Big right hand by Arlovski, and I would like to see Kelz use that straight left hand and use that post measure hard to kind of push Arlovski out away from him whenever he's coming in like that.
2 minutes remain in round number 3. BJ, I want to ask you, Kelz's defensive instincts, leaning back with that chin up so frequently, how can the Pitbull take advantage of that?
You know, it's dangerous when you lean straight back like that, but he's also 6'7", Ben. So, I mean, the physical advantages that Kelz has with his size, he's able to get away with things like Tyson Fury, like Vladimir Klitschko. Those kind of guys lean back and break some of the cardinal rules in boxing, things you aren't supposed to do, but the physical size allows him to do it.
I would need several phone books to make eye contact with Kelz. Midway point of round number 3, Riley, the Pitbull, has been standing right in front of the London competitor.
He's getting a bit confident with the power coming towards him. He's taking a bit more risks here, we're seeing from the Pitbull, but I think he's got to be cautious here because Kelz is still loose. I mean, something we have to credit is Kelz has incredible durability. He's wearing these shots as if they're not even hitting him. And he's coming back with his own.
Arlovski coming into the clinch pocket, wearing on the taller fighter.
Fatigue clearly setting in for both fighters here.
And you can just sort of see that Kelz's inexperience is costing him in these moments, right? He doesn't have the tools. Oh! Kelz might have been a little bit stunned by that short right hand, Riley.
Ben, right there is an example of Arlovski is kind of figuring out the defensive habits of Kelz. Kelz is leaning back, so Arlovski realizes he's just got to be a little bit closer before he throws that right hand, and it's starting to find its shot.
Shots to the body from Kelz in the clinch, but the Pitbull just chipping away 25 seconds remain. BJ, you talk about cutting the tree. Arlovski looking like Paul Bunyan.
He does look like they got that lumberjack look. I'd like to see Arlovski use the straight right hand. You see Kelz continually moving to his left into the shot of Arlovski. If Arlovski can use that straight right hand, I think he'd have some success.
Jabs like that, I love from Kelz. Final moments here.
Seconds, get ready to stop the ball.
Winging shots from Kelz. Kelz might have been really buckled by that shot from the pit bull, trying to complain about a back-of-the-head blow, but when you turn your back to your opponent, Riley, you ask for sequences like that.
You cannot complain about a shot to the back of the head when you've turned your back to your opponent. It's looking like a lot of fatigue from Kelz, BJ, whereas Andrei, he's showing the fatigue, but he's not losing his composure as a fighter.
Well, you wouldn't expect him to. Riley's got 60 fights. He's obviously been in these types of situations a lot, throughout his last 20 years, and he's very experienced. He knows, things get a little tight in round 3, and now round 4. I'm very curious to see how Kelz comes out and responds after getting buzzed at the end of round 3 right there. He's in bad shape.
In this final frame, Riley, what would you want to see from the former champion Arlovski?
He was talking about it earlier. He wants that KO bonus. I think he's going to try to hunt for it, and I want to see him get it done because this is a fight where he's a huge favorite. He's had a lot of success. He hasn't really shown any risks coming back from Kelz. Let's see if he takes the risk to get it done.
Kelz taking his time, getting off the stool. This return has meant so much to him. He understands the opportunity in front of him. He has 3 minutes left with which to execute it. Round number 4 underway.
So far in this fight, man, this is a situation where Kelz has kind of, performed better than I think most of us thought he would. To be in the landing shots, he's really showed up tonight.
Absolutely clean right hand from him there, and another one. But Arlovski, for me at least, has shown a lot more durability than I expected. He's won a lot of these shots really well and just keeps coming back for more.
And now the pit bull opens up. Kelz trying to drag Andrei Arlovski out of the ring almost.
You're never getting Arlovski off his feet unless he is launching towards you.
Like you talked about, Riley, the offense is now kicking up to a higher gear from the pit bull. He wants that $25,000 bonus.
Look over at the corner from Kelz, never a good sign.
Another right forces Kelz backwards. He's just had such a hard time identifying himself there, BJ.
I'd love to see Arlovski kind of crouch down and shoot that right hand on the body instead of headhunting so much. And I think both good body shot.
He heard you, BJ.
He heard me. Yeah, I think he did because that's a shot that I think he'll have a lot of success if he drives that right hand in the body. You see Kelz in the southpaw stance now trying to confuse Arlovski. Maybe he's going to try to go the other way.
The pit bull flatlines Kelz in the final round. Andrei Arlovski still has dynamite power.
Somebody was hunting for the bonus, and I don't know, but he might have just secured it there. BJ said it earlier. The power goes last, and we just saw it here, folks. It's gone nowhere.
46 years young Arlovski now riding a 3-fight win streak. All stoppages in combat sports.
Maybe here, just a slow breakdown from Arlovski that finalized in the shot that he was looking for all night.
And while we have been hammering on with Kelz's size and power in the heavyweight division, it just takes one for anybody. And Arlovski really able to capitalize on Kelz's southpaw stance. I would say mistake, right? You're not used to that stance.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes at 1 minute 10 seconds of the 4th round. For your winner by knockout, Andrei the Pitbull Arlovski.
Getting it done by way of monumental knockout. Arlovski, I would say, was a little counted out in this position.